Hey, it's Anhar.
MD.
And today we will be taking a look at the elected officials at today's inauguration. Hopefully we'll have a chance to speak to a few of them and see what they have in store for us in the future.
I really hope I get to interview Congressman McGovern. I have a lot of questions for him. Stay here on Youth Unity.
The first political memory I have was on my 8th birthday, waiting for my father to put together my banana seat bike that I had been waiting for years. But it was interrupted because my parents were in the living room watching the funeral of Bobby Kennedy. And it was the first time I saw my parents cry. And I didn't really understand, but I knew that my political blood started to flow on that very day. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially perform my duties as a member of the City Council.
What made you want to run for elected official?
It's just what I've been doing ever since, since my heydays back with the Boys and Girls Club, helping out youth, helping out young adults as well, and just realizing that now's a time where I can put a lot of my resources, a lot of the relationships I've built over the years, and put them together to really enhance District 4. And from what I've learned and what I realize is it's about empowering our residents and our youth.
How do you plan to involve and collaborate with youth to create safer neighborhoods?
It's listening to the youth and figuring out, what are the things that make them feel unsafe? What can we do to make their where they live safer? They walk to school, they walk home, to the library, wherever they go, to make it safer. I've asked students, that take the bus to school, do they feel safe? Some of them say yes, some of them say don't.
Thank you for joining us, and good luck on your term. And also, thank you for everything that you do at my school, UPCS.
I'm here with City Councilor Mo Bertman, and I understand that you are a City Council member at large.
I am. I'm going into my 6th term, and as you may know, an at-large council represents the entire city, and Worcester has 5 district councils which represent the 5 districts of Worcester, and there's 6 at-large councilors. So if you combine the 6 at-large with the 5 district councils, you get a total of 11 councilors, and the top vote getter who runs for mayor is also a mayor in addition to city council.
This is your 6th term.
It is.
Why do you keep coming back? What motivates you to keep coming back and striving to make the city of Worcester a better place?
Well, politics is an interesting place because you're never finished. There's always new challenges, and the challenges you've addressed in the past always need to be tweaked. So it's always new and different and exciting as far as what you're challenged with and what you think you can accomplish.
Speaking of accomplishments, is there a certain one that you're specifically proud about?
I prefer to share the successes with the other councils. I will say that I spearheaded a number of years ago, after sitting on the Traffic and Parking Subcommittee, what we now call speed humps throughout the city, because we had addressed a number of neighborhoods where speeding through the side streets. We have this program now where seasonally, between the spring and the fall, we have speed humps installed on certain side streets where there otherwise weren't traffic calming measures that worked, and we take them out in the winter to avoid the problems with the snow plows.
If you could somehow list, not in any particular order, just the 3 priorities to you, what do you hold dear to your heart and want to ensure that the people of Worcester are good with?
Well, I think we have an obligation to do better with our existing parks, and I made this a campaign issue. I'm all for creating new parks, but I think we got to finish and complete and fix the old parks first. My analogy was, you don't go out and buy a new car until you've paid off your old car.
Why did you want to get into politics?
I got into politics because I want to help people. I care about this community. I care about this country. I care about this world. I care about peace. I care about human rights. I want to end all wars. I mean, those are things that motivate me, and so politics was the place to be to try to advance those principles.
How can the young people that are watching right now be more involved in politics?
Okay, my advice to young people is fight for what you believe in. If you care about ending hunger, fight to end hunger. If you care about world peace, fight for world peace. If you care about ending, the problem of people without housing, get involved in that. Pay attention to, what current events are, and then get involved in campaigns or run for office yourself. You have to be involved. You have to try to persuade people of your viewpoint if you're going to make change.
How do the country's current problem affect young people today?
Well, when I was young, there were a lot of issues confronting our country and our world that I care deeply about. And I got involved in peaceful protests. I was arrested 3 times, but in peaceful protests. I don't believe in violence. The biggest obstacle to change is indifference, is when people just say, oh, it doesn't matter, or I can't make a difference. This world needs young people to be involved, to care, because things are pretty messy right now. And some of these messes have been created by the people who are in powerful positions. So we need to hold them to account, and we need to pave the way for a new generation of young people who are going to lead us, hopefully, to a more peaceful time abroad and a more just time here at home.
What advice do you give to those young people that are watching right now who want to take peaceful protesting as a way to make sure that their voice is heard?
Well, I would say do your homework and know the facts, and you build up to. Protests can take many forms. First, it could take the form of you being at an event and disagreeing with the person who's making a presentation. If you're quiet, if you don't say anything, if you disagree with something passionately but are indifferent, it will never change. It will never change.
You said in an article in 2018 about the Women's Oral Project that you want to be a voice for the young who are always in those rooms at those tables with the old white men.
Correct.
You want our voices to be heard. Why does this mean so much to you?
Well, maybe because I was used to being that woman in those mail rooms for construction, so it's incredibly important to me. And I was brought up by a family and a dad that was all about the youth too, right? He was about Boy Scouts. I've been about the YWCA and a lot of causes. I support young candidates. I am excited to see generational change in our city.
Being a businesswoman, having gone through everything and also wanting to advocate for the young, what made you choose to run for school committee?
So we were facing some challenging years at work, and what dawned on me is this. Our city is going to be successful if our students are going to get the best jobs out there, all kinds of different jobs. And when I say best jobs, I don't mean, the highest paid. I mean something that fulfills each of us. And I believe that is my calling, to try to make sure that Worcester can have the best schools possible so that our students can be the next people that run businesses in our city and run for elected office and all kinds of other stuff.
I'm here joined by Christian King today.
Yes, thank you. Very happy to be here with Youth Unity. Very happy I'm in my 5th term, elected as the Vice Chairman and Vice Mayor of the City of Worcester and the City Council. And, I come from humble beginnings as an immigrant. My parents came from the island of Bermuda many years ago for a better life. When I first wanted to serve the City of Worcester, it came after I lost 3 friends to gun violence many years ago. I decided I wanted to stay in Worcester and make a difference. And I began to do that through the game of basketball, coaching at high school, junior college, and I run a summer league at Crompton Park for high schools currently since 1996. And one of the first things I was very proud of achieving was I brought back middle school sports for our youth. So I work with community partners, the city council, the mayor, the school committee, the then superintendent, Benenda, and we brought that back. And I'm part of one of the largest basketball tournaments that the city has right now in Worcester. We do that at Crompton Park once a year. I think this year we probably had 4,000 people, high school, young adults. I also like to give opportunities for young people, whether it's working on a campaign, working with them to get into their college. We had folks here today from high school age folks who are now on their master's degrees working in politics I've been able to be a part of. Representative government is extremely important. And what representative government means is that the government that works for you looks like you. It reflects you. When I was first elected in 2016, I was the first black man elected since 1936, 80 years. And that is extremely important. To have the opportunity to see someone doing the work that you may aspire to do.
Hello, today we are with...
Jermaine Johnson, Worcester School Committee.
It's very nice to see you. You are also the vice chair of the school committee. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting. This will be my second term. I was vice chair when I was elected 2 years ago, and to be voted vice chair again for the second time is very exciting.
I found out that you actually had an annual wellness day done at Polar Park with the Woo Sox. Can you please tell us more about that?
I remember it was a student rep who said to me that you guys don't get days off unless they count against absences. Like, I could call in sick and I could take days off from work and still get paid, but you guys don't have that opportunity and the stress that you guys have in schools. So with that, we came up with wellness days to give them a day away, to get some wellness, a free day. Doesn't count as an absence. You're still there, but there's no schoolwork. It's a day away. We're out to enjoy ourselves, and actually we have our second one coming up this year, so it's very exciting.
Recently at my school, Doherty Memorial High School, we've actually had some refillable water bubbler stations installed. What were the steps and what did it take for you to have those installed all over the schools?
When I came in, that was one of my first items that I filed, is to ensure that we get water bottle filling stations in all our schools, and I think we're there. So
very, very early on in your high school career, when you were about a freshman or sophomore, I know that your cousin Jerome was gunned down in the schoolhouse? Stabbed.
Yes.
I was wondering, at that moment, did anything awaken in you?
That kind of shaped me in my life. I was a freshman in high school, and again, I tell people all the time, I had the support of the school community, one. I also had the support of my English teacher, June Erisy, who I still talk to this day, and my high school basketball coach, Gary Kramer, who I still talk to this day. I mean, they helped me get through that, along with my friends and the community and the family. And if they could hear my story and know what happened with me as a younger kid and how I kind of persevered and got through it with the help of my school community, my family, and other things, they could do the same thing. And that's all I'm looking for.
Do you have anything to say to today's youth?
I would say, I mean, if you're in the Worcester Public Schools, you're here in Worcester, I think there are a lot of great things going on. We have a superintendent who is all about the students. We have a school committee who is all about the students, everything that we're pushing, and your voice needs to be heard. We hear your voice, and we want to make sure, because it's you guys are in school, it's your school, and it's the future school of other students here in the Worcester Public Schools.
Welcome to the many sides of Main Street, where the stores of Webster Square Plaza bring you to your feet, where City Hall and the courthouse has its start, and all the city street signs have a heart.
You mentioned that you receive a lot of judgment for your work. Is that something that you still go through?
Yeah, I feel like as you get more popularity, it gets worse and worse with the judgment.
What are some things that you're doing to overcome those judgments that you're currently going through?
I just continue to go through positive motives and making sure I do more things in the community, because I feel like I just love showing up more in the community.
When I say the word Worcester, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Like creativity. I feel like Worcester is so creative and everyone does things in their own way, and they always find a way to be creative with art and work and just everything.
What other inspirations do you have when you're trying to come up with music or poems?
I feel like pain is an inspiration, and pain is the power when you go through things instead of draining, I usually use music, and like if I feel a certain type of emotion, I always put it towards music and think of it on the positive side to, use it as a power.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
I see myself working in the community and doing all things positive. I see myself changing the woman background in the community, in the industry, because, women have such like a, not so positive impact on this industry, and I want to be the change.